So I'm here with Nate Levas, and you're going to talk to us about being a software development intern, right?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So I started here at the end of May, at the end of my semester, and actually my mom also works for the company here. She's a software developer, and I had been looking at a bunch of places, and my mom always talked about like the environment here, and she really liked working here. And so I applied, did an interview with Bruce, and he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so I signed on, and I've been here since May.
So what is it like day to day as far as what you're doing with the development team?
So usually if I don't have something that I'm currently working on, I'll be assigned like a project, or I'll pick up a smaller task just to work on for the day. And for those larger projects, there's a lot of talking back and forth with the other people who are more experienced in the field. And so I talk a lot with the other people who are on the website builder team, as I do a lot of the work in there as well. So typically I'll start working on the code, and once it looks pretty functional, I'll send it to code review, and then one of the upper level people will take a look at it, send it back with some changes. I'll make those changes, send it back. That might go on for some time. And once that's ready, it'll get sent to someone else, and it'll do it again. And after 2 levels of review, it's good to go, hopefully.
So how is the code review process here? Because I always hear it's a lot.
It is rigorous. Every single piece of code does see at least 2 different levels of review. And so at times there are lots and lots of back and forth discussion. But, it's good because hopefully once you see some of the feedback, a lot of like the stuff will come back over and over again. And so once you've seen that feedback once, it's a lot easier to not make that mistake in the future. But, there's always stuff that you miss, and there's always stuff that even like the first level of reviewer will miss. And so that's why having that second level to really like double check is pretty nice.
So it's a good like learning experience too.
Oh, for sure. I'd say personally, I hadn't done a ton of web application development before this, and I feel like by this point I've started to feel pretty comfortable with it. And it's really nice having just people constantly kind of looking at your code and giving you feedback, making sure that you're staying consistent with the style of the company and how everything functions really nicely.
Now, what projects have you been working on since you've been here?
A lot of my primary focus has been specifically looking at the social media components for the website builder team. I've been doing kind of an update on the way that we've been storing our social media links and putting out new dashboard pages for updating your social media links. And these are going to be used throughout the site from this new dashboard page that we've implemented. There's going to be a new component in Website Builder for it, as well as some of the banner options. And I believe we're going to look to incorporate that same page into the email marketing as well. And so I've been doing work kind of restructuring the way that we use social media links, which has been pretty fun.
So did you do the update to the emails that just went out with the social media links and emails?
Yeah, so I added a bunch of new social media field options for the email marketing, and you'll see that update come out to a website v2 pretty shortly as well, where all those social media links and some other custom links that you enter into the dashboard page will be able to be added into your custom website as well.
So what are you doing coming up after this?
So after this, I'm going to be working on the top teams component for websites. So websites will be able to display a leaderboard of their teams based off of their sizes, as well as sorting by different groups and types of teams. So that's going to be something I'm going to be working on, is restructuring our current top teams page, as well as adding a new component for websites for our top teams.
And what are some use cases for that feature?
Well, a lot of our races do support teams, and we see a lot of teams being used. And so this will allow races that currently use the teams system page to sort it by the team size, and then also add in onto their homepage a leaderboard that looks something like the top charities or top fundraisers component that will also display their teams.
So it's a good promotional thing for races who are trying to like grow teams to kind of make it a competition.
Absolutely. The people who make their teams will definitely see incentive to try to make a bigger team.
Now, I know developers, you have to work on Monday tasks. Can you explain what that is and a Monday task that you've done recently?
A Monday task, hopefully it's a 1-day task or even smaller that you can just take a look at, complete, and get it out within a day, so that sometimes you're kind of at an awkward point and you're like waiting for something to go through, and you don't want to start another big project. So you pick up a Monday task. I went through, I think last week at some point, and I did some updating of some old CSS classes that we had for this. It was this big blue rectangle. It was like a pretty outdated looking header where it was just a big blue rectangle with text in the middle. And so we updated those to like our current header styles, and there were a couple of them hidden throughout the site. That's a nice quick update. I make the change. It goes to review. Usually there's like minimal feedback on those because nothing crazy is being touched.
Now, what is the greatest strength of the development team?
You know, I found it seems like everyone is really helpful, especially when I had just started. Like that first week is pretty like rough in terms of feeling like you're getting really nothing done, because we do have a pretty large code base and jumping into it is kind of daunting. But everyone seems like really helpful and knowledgeable about what they're working on. And so once I figured like who to talk to for what area, because obviously people are specialized in certain areas, it's super helpful, and everyone is like super willing to help you and provide insight on what they think should be done. And so especially in those first couple weeks, being able to talk to people and knowing that no one was gonna like shame you for asking or be unhelpful was super nice.
So do you have any fun stories or funny stories that you want to talk about from working here at RunSignup?
Yeah. So actually about a month and a half ago, I accidentally sparked a big debate throughout the office on the number of pancakes you could eat in 2 hours. And some people, Julius, think that they could eat 24 pancakes in 2 hours with no problems. A little bit of training, I've been told. And there's been a lot of pushback from other people throughout the office. And so on, I would say, a weekly basis, this conversation resurfaces, and Julius stands strong on his position of 24 pancakes in 2 hours, while the rest of us really try to talk him out of it.
What is the size of these pancakes?
IHOP regulation.
Okay, so that's like,
Probably about
okay,
like that. And
yeah, because I could see like smaller ones.
No. They're like, we've been doing the math. It's only, so surprisingly only 143 calories per pancake, which has Julius thinking he's got it completely. He's for sure has it.
Wait, did I hear you guys having this conversation this morning? Okay.
Yep.
I heard the calories talk, and so it's still going on. Okay.
It is always going on. It's an ongoing debate where almost everyone else thinks 24 pancakes in 2 hours is egregious, and Julius is convinced that it is entirely possible.
I had a debate going on with Kiesel for a while, like years ago, where it was, do you say GIF or GIF? And I would say you say it correctly as GIF, and he would always go with the incorrect version of GIF. I don't understand
I'm team GIF as well, to be honest with you.
That's okay. People can be wrong. That's fine. Well, thanks for talking, Nate.
Yeah, thanks for having me.